Hello, Keeping It 100 official subscribers. This is the first 10 minutes of an over half-hour NXT roundtable review from this week, which included Konnan, Disco, myself, plus Patreon subscribers Harry Ruiz, Carlos Hernandez, Stephen Burton, and Vlad. And you can find the rest of this review on the Patreon site at patreon.com/Konnan and Konnan.me.
The first match, this is the second week in a row that NXT has started off with a long women's match to start the show. It's kind of weird that they counter program with the women against, and then NXT starts the same way each week with the big, giant, like 10, 12 person match, it seems like. Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai, I watched some of this, but because it was just because I'm going back and forth. I couldn't believe this lasted longer than the NXT segment. They went like 16 minutes. And I'll tell you what, their work is, you know what I like about, here's the difference when I'm watching AEW and NXT. NXT, they're hitting harder. Like they're doing a lot of strikes, and their strikes look like they have more oomph to them than they do on the other show. The other show is definitely more spot oriented and more acrobatic. But these girls are,
bro. That's one of the biggest glaring things I also noticed. NXT, they lay all their shit in, looks very physical. They slow everything down, and AEW is almost like lucha style. Everything's real quick.
Right,
boom,
they're
boom,
just
boom,
all
boom, boom.
right. It's very fast, and that's how it's kind of like when I'm going back and forth, my eyes are getting drawn to like the physicality, and I'm watching it. Then it's like it's going a little bit too long. I'll go to NXT, AEW. And they're doing a million things all over the place, and then that gets boring, and I go back, and that's the thing. There's definitely two different styles of work on both these shows, but these girls are pretty good. These girls are pretty good. So, and the Dakota Kai, I guess because it was the number one contenders match. Let me throw this at you, Mercedes Martinez. How well do you know her, Konnan?
I met her once. Very cool chick and great worker.
Bro, do you know who she looks like? Who? If Cyborg got married to Amanda Nunes.
Little bit.
And Amanda Nunes and Cyborg, like combined.
Bit, yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yep. I was going to call it like Cyborg Nunes or Amanda Cyborg, So it's all right. They showed I like the way Jeremy produces the Undisputed Era. Shows them like, always like well dressed and stuff and everything. So
I thought so. Who watched NXT? Both of you two?
No, I only watched AEW.
I would switch on and off.
Did you see that match or no, Carlos? The Rhea Ripley one.
Yeah, I saw it. What do you think of it? I thought I was gonna be because it was longer than I thought. It was pretty good, and then like they did the finish good. It wasn't nothing to complain about. But like I don't know, sometimes I feel like they don't need that much time because I thought the AEW match was gonna finish after that one, and they didn't. Like the Rhea Ripley thing was still going on, so I thought that was kind of weird.
And if you listen to our show every week, I'm saying the same thing, bro. Every match does not need to be long.
Right.
And you'll see me bring it up in a couple matches in a minute when we get to them, and I'll tell you exactly which ones. And this was one of them. What, Joe?
Just that the opening match was 15:47.
Bro, let me tell you, this match to me was very good because they're very physical, and Rhea's very physical, and I like that. They're not, jumping into the fucking the referees thing like most women. They're not taking care of each other and doing little ginger shit. I mean, they're bringing it, especially like when Rhea was fucking hitting her with the knees to the face. Like that looked really good. And here's another thing that I noticed. You know how we always say that most people can't punch? And by that, we mean most men.
Right.
Most men can't punch, and even less the women can, but Rhea can. She was punching her very effectively. Yes. And I think Martinez versus Rhea is going to be great because Martinez can go.
Here's the one thing.
And she's physical.
Real quick, Disco, before you start. Stephen Burton just joined us. He's a new Patreon subscriber as well. So, what's up, man?
Oh, Stephen, how you doing, Stephen?
Just
real quick question. We got two of our other Patreons in office here. Welcome to the show. Which shows did you watch? Both shows? Did you watch one show tonight? Because me and Konnan and Carlos flipped back and forth. Harry just watched AEW. What did you do?
I think he's frozen.
Oh man!
It's frozen.
All right, go ahead, Disco.
All right, let's keep going.
Shit. Well, when you introduce him and the motherfucker didn't say shit, that shit.
No, he's frozen. Steven, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Okay, you're frozen. Which shows did you watch both shows and flip back and forth? Did you watch one or the other?
Yeah, I watched both shows tonight.
Okay, flip back and forth. Did you watch the first match on NXT? We're doing NXT right now.
Yeah, I got it. Rhea and Dakota Kai.
Yeah, what did you think?
Yeah, what did you think?
Pretty good show overall. Good match.
We're going segment by segment. So just tell what you think of this one. What do you think of this match?
Okay, gotcha. I'm not sure what's going on with Rhea. she looked pretty good tonight. She's got a kind of new look going on with the blonde hair. And, but, since the loss to Charlotte, she just seems so lost and kind of out of place. And I just wonder how they're going to get that momentum back. I mean, they had such a big celebration.
They're about to put her in a program with Martinez, so that's basically what's going to happen. I'd also like to see that. I think you'd look better as a blonde, even though I just met you.
No, but there's one thing we brought up, and I want to see if you agree with this point. The one thing we noticed, the difference between the two shows, is that on NXT the pace is slower and they lay their shit in more. Like it's more physical on the strikes. Like the girls and the guys are all clobbering the shit out of each other, and it looks different to the other show, And here's another thing too, Konnan. You notice this, bro? Everybody on NXT throws good chops. On the other show, you can see kind of like lazy chops, and that's to me that's not good work. We got another guy in here too.
Yeah, Vlad just came in. He is just joined. He is a long time Patreon subscriber. I was just looking at his thing, so he's been with us for a while, but this is his first time on a roundtable. So
how you guys doing?
What's up, man?
Pretty good, Vlad. Just real quick question because we're getting into it already. Did you watch both shows and flip back and forth? Did you watch one show?
I DVR both, and I go through quickly. I watch both of them.
Do you fast forward through the matches and get to the angles, or you watch? Right, cool. All right,
so the matches are too long.
Okay, cool. So the first match was like, bro, you know what they did too? Maybe they made the Rhea match that long on NXT because they wanted people to see the finish.
Rhea one I actually stopped to watch because for some reason I had a feeling that they were going to do what they did at the end. So I wanted to see how they did it.
Right.
I actually like what they did.
Yeah.
I did. Because I feel like they finally have the girl Rhea working with someone that can work with her.
Right.
Instead of her just bullshitting around. I feel like she's been bullshitting since she lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania. I think I heard somebody else saying.
Those girls are tough in NXT. They're rough. They're tough. I like them. It's like it's the WWE system has trained their girls. Like the problem with NXT is their girls are coming from the indies.
Yeah.
The NXT, the WWE system has trained these girls to work snugger and more. So it's just that's where they blow away AEW.
The AEW girls. To be honest, I don't even know where they found those girls.
Yeah,
on AEW. It's ridiculous.
Some of them shouldn't be on the show. So they have about three. They should do the old stuff where like Fabulous Moolah and Wendy Richter just were like the only two women on the show. Just like they were in an angle for a year and stuff.
Judy Martin.
It might as well at this point.
Right.
Do they even have a second one to go up with Nyla Rose, the champion? I guess.
Well, Kari, the Japanese girls are pretty decent, but they're kind of
exactly. Like the WWE Japanese girls blow them out the water.
Yeah.
Let me throw this little one out there real quick before I forget. So they have this thing where HBK is talking to Pat McAfee in the back, which, like I told you last week, I knew this was a fucking work, and it is. And I'd also like to say that HBK looks like he belongs in Duck Dynasty.
I've got hot news. I've got hot news, by the way. I knew that they were going to have a match because Madden told me because Madden and Pat McAfee are friends. He said, "Don't repeat that." But they're working each other.
So that's the angle that they're going.
Bro, that's you couldn't have figured that out from
but the first night they had that angle on the Pat McAfee show. That's what he said.
That's where I thought they were going.
Right,
that's from why else would they do all of that?
I don't know.
So to me, it was like. You're not going to go on some guy's show working in WWE and insult him like that. And that's not a work, Yeah. And today we saw it was. I would also like to say that I didn't understand this. This was very weird. I know I'm jumping ahead of myself, but I just want to throw this. I like the fact that when McAfee sat down, the first thing he said was, yeah, we're cool. We already talked about it. Okay, if you're cool, then why are you talking shit about the guy while he's ringside and why is the guy mad dogging? Yeah, right. The motherfucker's mad dogging you during the whole fucking thing. And you said you guys were cool and you'd already talked. And then when the guy comes up to you and says that he can hear you as he walks away, you call him an elf. So I was like, you should have just said, hey, I haven't talked to him and I'll talk to him after the show. So there's some heat there. But he'd already told us that they'd made up, so it was kind of weird.
Bro, he was being a heel because he's being a heel. He was doing subtle heel. That's because he's the heel of this. You know that, right?
Well, yeah. They wanted him in the face at the end, and he was talking shit about him.
Yeah. So that's like he was the prick that came on the show and like was working he was working the boys. And turned out to be the prick. So that was all right. The next match was I had no comments about this. This Bronson Reed guy, I'm not into him, and he fought some other guy I didn't really know. So I changed the channel on that. Anybody watch that?
Yeah, some of it. The ending was kind of impressive. I like the way I like Bronson Reed. It was my first time seeing him, and just a powerhouse type.